these Colossus, oh man, 3 Colossus are absolutely decimating a lot of these units here. And it looks like Jason is actually going to find himself in the better position here, maybe, but it looks like, oh, yep, Jason does push this back and is able to kill off a push. Looking here at the unit loss tab, he did lose 2 workers. Google gives a good game, does realize that, of course, he is too far behind to win at that point. Well mannered from Google there, giving a good game, and actually not. Oh, okay. Thank you, Capo. Excuse me. Well mannered and not dragging out a game that was most likely over at that point. So now it is going to be Google's turn to choose the last match in this deciding Game 5. Hey, Capo, what's up? Get on Skype really quick. I am on Skype, Capo. Why? I'm sorry, Capo, but I'm not going to change the overlay. There's not enough time. We only have 1 game left, and I'm not going to make them wait 10 minutes so I can change the overlay. Jason's saying wait. This isn't ladder, lols. I don't want to give out my Skype name on the stream, Capo. I can't just chat. This chat's on the stream too. Everybody's gonna see what I type. Makes absolutely no difference whether I say it on the stream or if I type it out. Oh, apparently everybody's leaving the game, so I will quit the game. Sorry, Google. Invite again. I apologize, Google. Well, that part can't possibly be in the start. Oh, fine, I'll type it out. Oh, I didn't type the word correctly. I failed in my typing because the game started. Anyways, guys, this is going to be the deciding Game 5. I will get back to Capo when this is done. Sorry, Capo, that they started the game. I told them to wait. It's not my fault, I swear to God. But it is going to be on MLG Xel'Naga Caverns. That is one of my favorite maps. Absolutely love this map. It's an incredible map. Anyway, we do have spawning up here in the top right position as the red Protoss, Google, who's been absolutely incredible this tournament. Did just lose to a very well executed defense by the person spawning here in the bottom left position as the blue Protoss, Jason, and his beautiful Colossi units that have legs that are awesome. Streaming without my... Really, VFO. Really. Thank you, VFO, for promoting yourself quite shamelessly, streaming our content. I appreciate it. See this, guys? That's why we don't like people observing games. But, yeah. Anyway, being told here in Skype about stuff, so, sorry, guys, that I got distracted there for a second. Anyway, both players, again, have been playing with very, very varied builds until the last 2 games where both players did go for that gateway, robo, kind of push strategy. Google choosing to elect to go with a one base push, and it just wasn't enough. Ended up having to deal with 3 Coloxen out of Jason, and that was just enough to do the damage. Anyway, both players still with their fairly standard stuff here. Starting up the gateways, typical gas timings, maybe a little bit slightly delayed for Jason, but basically the same here. So we'll see what both players decide to do here. Anyway, guys, yeah, looking at this, we do see once again we'll be interested to see if we see this typical 3-gate robo facility that we've been seeing a lot out of Jason, or if we see more. Excuse me, I'm trying to think here, but I am absolutely failing. This, guys, is why you don't want to do this live, because you end up sounding like an idiot when you can't think, and yeah, I totally sound like an idiot right now. So yeah, I apologize for for failing to think straight while I'm trying to do stuff. Anyway, we do have fairly typical stuff, once again, coming out of both players. Cybernex course still typically times, coming up with the second gateways. Everything is coming out at roughly the same time. Hey, Drizzy, thank you for interrupting me while I was talking about what was going on. What's up, Drizzy?
My bad. Nothing much, I'm back. What game are we on?
This is actually the deciding game 5, dude. You missed everything.
Oh, well, it's too bad. I'll watch the stream. You go on with your thing.
Thank you, Drizzy. Anyway, Google chrono boosting out his first stalker, as he's prone to do. Has worked well for him in the past, but last game just did not go very well for Google. Anyway, we do see that Google is keeping up with, actually he's cutting his pro production here. Seems like a little, oh no, he's at 21, so never mind, that is a little early. Thought it might be. Drizzy, you might want to turn off your mic there for a sec while your dog is barking. Anyway, Google getting his second Gase. I almost said base, and then I said Gase. I have no idea what I'm trying to say, guys. I apologize again. Anyway, getting his second gate up, has his third one and his fourth now on the way, so he's going for that 4-gate pressure. Oh, man. I didn't even notice this, and I don't think Jason did either. Looking at this right here, Jason doesn't even see it. There's actually a probe here in the fog. He's going to be able to lay down a proxy pylon inside of his opponent's base, and oh, man. We saw that happen. I believe Jason did it to Kudoku in the semifinals, and we saw exactly how that ended up working for him, and I don't think it's going to work out. I think it'll work exactly as well for Google, and Google could easily end the game here with a very, very unfortunate slip-up on Jason's part. But Google is bringing out a couple of stalkers. Going to poke a little bit at the front. Basically, it seems like Google's going to be trying to distract him at the front and then warp in a few zealots in the back and then just kill the entire mineral line. We do see that Jason has 3 gateways up. Just now morphed into warp gates, and he has his robotics facility on the way. But Google's actually sitting on a massive amount of money. Does warp in 4 stalkers in the back, and he is going to start attacking this from both sides now. 3 zealots are on the way, and it looks like Jason might be able to hold this because, of course, zealots are very, very effective against stalkers. They do massive amounts of damage. Ooh, Google actually leading Jason into his proxy pylon. And so Jason is going to be able to see that that's where all these reinforcements will be coming from. But Google is continuing to push forward, continuing to attack with these stalkers. Definitely would have rather had him wait there for a little bit, wait for his stalkers to catch up, but it looks like he's in very good shape here because his zealot is back here picking away at this mineral line. Going to kill a couple of probes here. He's got 2 kills on this zealot. Looks like 3 now. Might be able to get up to 4. Oh, nope. Doesn't get quite to 4. Ends up losing that zealot. But he's got a few units warping in up here. Gonna pick away at some more stuff of Jason's. Definitely didn't work as well as Jason's proxy pylon, but definitely is very effective so far. Has been able to do a lot of damage, especially to the econ line. Taking a look here at the workers killed, we actually see 6 workers killed, which is a fairly large amount. Not just the 300 minerals that those workers cost, but also the minerals that they would have gathered in the same time frame. However, now that Jason has repelled this, we do see that with the tech advantage he does have out of the robo facility, he's going to be in a very good shape here. Able now to pick off that proxy pylon, get it out of the way, keep it from warping in more units in his back. So yeah, this kind of backfired here for Google. Looking at the worker tab, we do see that, oh man, Jason even actually has a worker advantage right now. And I gotta say, I'm definitely thinking that Jason's got this guy on his side right now. Google's getting up that robotics facility, but it is very, very far behind. And I gotta say that, yeah, Jason definitely has the edge here. We could see a comeback here from Google. It is always possible. You never know what's going to happen. But all things considered, it seems like Jason is in commanding position. He is now going to start moving out with his units, bringing that probe along, of course, because he needs to lay down a forward pylon if he's going to reinforce any kind of pressure here. But I got to say, you guys, I love these 1 immortal, 2 immortal timing pushes. They're incredibly effective when executed properly. And it looks like he's doing this absolutely incredibly well. And we are moving slowly forward here for Jason, bringing that probe up forward, going to lay down his proxy pylon up here as he moves up the rest of his units. But of course, he is slightly a little bit slow, it feels like. And if this Immortal is able to get out for Google, Google might be able to push this back and defeat this push. But I don't know. It's anybody's game here. Which is going to happen? Both players, once again, in this Cold War situation, their armies just standing next to each other, neither one wanting to attack yet. Jason is able to see the high ground, so he's going to be able to start picking away a little bit at Google's units here. Does a little bit of damage, able to poke a little bit, but of course the front gets force fielded because Google doesn't want to get engaged in any kind of fight until he can reinforce even more. Definitely would like to see him Chrono Boost, but he actually doesn't have the energy for it. But he needs to get that Immortal out as quickly as possible, because this army from Jason is starting to come in, and oh, great force field is able to block off the overwhelming majority of of Jason's units, and it looks like Google is going to be able to push back a lot of this stuff. Of course, that high Zealot count is very effective against this high Immortal count that Jason's got. So we'll see what both players do, but I gotta say, Google looks like he's going to be able to push this force back and hold it off. He does have another Immortal out now, so he does have 2 Immortals, and Immortals, once again, are absolutely ridiculous against Stalkers, and he is completely decimating the Stalker count. But, oh man, but there's just so many units here for Jason, and Jason might just have enough to push through and end this game. But no, it looks like there's enough reinforcements for Google, and Google is able to finish off all of Jason's units here, putting him in a very good position. Now it looks like Google is in the commanding position right now. Losing a couple of Stalkers and an Immortal on the retreat, Jason does able to get stuff back into his base, and looks like Jason is now the one trembling in fear, so to speak. We do see that Google actually has a probe advantage now, and he's going to start getting his second base up before Jason's able to, as well as having a slight lead in terms of his army, so nothing too ridiculously large in terms of a lead for Google. Oh, Google's actually getting his robotics bay up too. Didn't even notice that. So yeah, it looks like Google actually has a pretty significant edge right now in terms of tech, in terms of economy, in terms of army size. Google's pretty much leading in everything right now. I definitely wouldn't like to see him push here, though. If he pushes here, he could squander what could have been a very good lead. So yeah, he's just moving around, poking around a little bit, seeing what's up, trying to get an idea of what Jason's doing, and he's just going to pull this army back and retreat. Definitely wants to try to keep his opponent from expanding, because he did see that his opponent doesn't have an expansion. So he's like, okay, I've got the expansion, he doesn't, I just want to sit back and build up my army. And that's exactly what you do. You build up your army, you exploit an economic lead, and you end up winning the game later on. Taking a look once again at the unit tab, 31 probes right now to 25 probes. So yeah, once again, Google has that big economic lead. Second base about to finish, and we will see a probe transfer to it. Google has slightly behind in terms of his Immortal and Zealot count, but he does have a lead in the fact that he also has a Coloxan out. Colossus aren't very good against Immortals, but they are good against Zealots and Stalkers. Not so much Blink Stalkers, but any kind of mass-up unit, you get 4 Coloxan and they will tear it apart. Not really much to talk about right now, guys. I apologize. I'm trying to think of funny stuff to say, but oh my god, he's warping into Zealots. I really don't know what to say about that. But we do see that there are more Coloxan being built up for Google, and I think once Google gets to about 4 Colossus, he's going to push forward and he's going to end the game in pretty commanding fashion. I was trying to look for a word there that I'm just completely unable to think of. But very large force here moving out for Jason. It's actually bringing along a lot of probes. Jason realizing that he doesn't have any chance to win in a longer-term game and deciding to go for an all-in push. But it's just too late. There are too many Colossus out here. They are going to rip apart all of these probes before they're even able to get in, let alone do any kind of damage. And the engagement does happen. The Coloxan, once again, are ripping through these front lines, tearing everything apart that they can, and this is pretty commanding position right now. There are a large number of Immortals who, if they get on those Coloxan, will kill them really fast, but of course there are just so many units here for Google, and he's tearing apart everything that Jason has, completely decimates Jason's force. And that is going to be the game here. Jason lost way too much now at this point. And Jason does give the GG. Google takes the lead. Well played. Great manners there from Jason. Thank you. An absolutely amazing play from both players. Loved it. Loved it. Oh, so much. Thank you, Google. Thank you, Jason, for showing us how ballin' you are in that 3-2 victory for Google, who takes the cake. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anyway, guys, that is the end of the finals. There was some talk about an interview with the winner. I don't know if Google wants to do that, but if